We live in a society that is constantly forcing us to be the best versions not only of ourselves, but to be better than everybody. And with social media as a huge window of comparison, it's not rare that we feel like we have the obligation to always do more and do it better than the rest of the people. So if you clicked on this video, it's because you've probably realized that this way of living might not be the best alternative. Hi, I'm Paula, the girl that sits here every Tuesday to just talk about things that happen to all of us but that we don't talk about enough. And today I wanted to talk about 3 of the main exercises or steps you can take in order to stop being so hard on yourself and taking things at your own pace. But before discussing these steps and exercises, I just wanted to say that it's not your fault. Most of the time, these thoughts and behaviors are rooted in your childhood and reinforced throughout the years by a society that is built around the idea that productivity and success are equal to personal worth. And eventually, you just end up believing that as the ultimate truth. So just take a moment and remember that it's not your fault and that you deserve to be proud of yourself for just wanting to heal and get better and live a life that doesn't base your personal value around the things that you achieve or the money you have. Now, the first and most important thing you need to do is try to find the reason behind why you started acting like this or having these thoughts. The elements like people, beliefs, actions that keep reinforcing them. You can't change the way you act and think if you don't start taking action around the things that make you act and think like that in the first place. So it's really important that you take the time for yourself without being judgmental and ask yourself, why are you acting like this in the first place? And the first time you ask yourself this question, you might come up with very superficial answers that tend to be the answers you have developed over time to sustain this way of behaving, and these answers usually sound like the things that society keeps telling us. So if that happens to you, just keep digging until you feel like you've reached the real bottom of this behavior. And once you get there, start noticing all those little things that might act like reinforcers and try to think if there's something you can do to change or eliminate them. The goal here is to start creating awareness around the things that make you act this way. So don't worry if at first you can't really find these reasons right away. Just the fact that you are being mindful and intentional about noticing these things is enough for you to start creating awareness and start changing those old patterns. Once you are aware of these thoughts, beliefs, or behaviors, it's time to start doing the second step or exercise, that is to start working towards changing or eliminating them. And the best way to do this is to try to imagine that you are talking to someone you really care for, or if you feel comfortable, you can try to talk to yourself, or imagine that you're talking to a younger version of yourself and picture them saying and doing all of those things that you constantly say and do yourself that represent all of those ways in which you are being self-critical. And your job will be to just react to that. Usually your response will be something like telling them that all of those things they're saying are not true, or that they should be a little bit kinder to themselves, or to take it slow, or something like that, and write it down. This exercise will help you analyze all of those thoughts and behaviors from a more objective point of view, and will give you very natural responses that are going to be the responses that you are going to start using with yourself whenever you find yourself being way too self-critical or forcing you to overwork or do more than you can just for the sake of it. Try to think of all of those things that you would say to someone you love and say them to yourself. At first, it might feel weird or even stupid, especially when you're trying to imagine that you are talking to someone else or even talking to yourself, but be patient. You can't expect to change that fast, something that you've been reinforcing for years. So just be patient and remember that just the fact that you are actively incorporating actions and thoughts to help you improve and change that way of behaving is enough. The fact that you are incorporating actions and words of kindness and validation towards yourself is a huge sign of improvement. And if you think about it, just the fact that you are trying, it's more than enough, because it's something that you were not doing before, and trying means that now you are aware of that and you are taking action in order to change it, and that's amazing. It's amazing that you are doing that for yourself. So seriously, be proud of yourself. You are doing all right. The last exercise or step you can follow is to start celebrating yourself and celebrating all the little things you achieve. It's time to stop being so self-critical and constantly putting yourself down and thinking, oh, it's not that important, or oh, that thing is not the big deal, because those thoughts keep you always wanting and needing to do more, because you just feel like whatever you do, it's not enough. And it's important to stop that and realize that your worth is not based around how much you achieve or how big is your achievement. You are worth it because you are you, and all of the things you achieve, even if they seem very little, are still worth it, and you deserve to be proud of them. To summarize everything a little bit, the most important thing in order to stop this self-criticism tendencies is to create awareness of the things that are making you act this way, and try to develop different mechanisms and to develop the habit to be proud of yourself and celebrate all of those small things, with the intention to make you realize that your worth is not based on the huge achievements or on how much you work. And if you're interested in talking a little bit deeper around why you're not behind in life and why it's important to take things slow, you can check out my other video that I'm gonna leave in the description. And also, if you're interested in talking about why the small things usually bring more joy than the huge achievements, you can check out my other video that I'm also gonna leave in the description box. That's all for today. I send you a massive hug. Remember that you are not alone. See you next week.